spirit guides.
Yeah.
And to guard and to be on your guard against them because they're very deceptive. So yeah, I would stay away from them if I were you. I'd say, look, I want nothing to do with you guys. I don't believe in your methods of spirituality. I don't believe in that. This will be the end of my association with you too.
Yeah, and they also kept actually sort of threatening me in a kind of passive way. They kept saying that if I didn't do what they said, they would sever all ties with me. And she even said if you don't do if you fail at any of the things I've asked you to do, then Ryan will sever all ties with you and he won't be your friend anymore.
Wow.
Blackmail.
Blackmail. Thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. And they also told me not to.
That's fucking bullshit, Ray.
Yeah, thank you. They also and we had to pay for the session.
Yeah, that's just
how much?
I don't know how much. I think it was $30 to $50. Ryan paid for it because he wanted me to go so badly, but she's always got to have money, and she wants me to have money. What is it, Jim?
Yeah, you know one time when I lived, when I lived around that area of Gladstone and Wyandotte, near the church I used to go to, there was a psychic house that was bought for psychic astrology reading and stuff like that. And I put a gospel tract in their door and took off.
You know what I think I'm gonna do? When I was coming in here, when I was on my way, I was gonna shoot a video. I'm shooting right now. I hope you don't mind. But I thought what you had to say was really important.
Yeah.
Because I need it to help me. Because sometimes I get confused because I'm too humble and I'm too. I let other people take the wheel too much.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
But she was also using astrology and stuff like that.
It's all.
Yeah, and I don't even know if astrology is of the occult or not. What I do know is that it's weak and it tries to define you by your birth date. Put you in the category and try to say, well, if you were born this time, then this is what's right for you. And that's bullshit. And they basically tried to change me into something else and say that it was and they put an idea in me and then said it was what I wanted to become.
You see, I think these charlatans, they get you hooked, so they get more money. I say, well, you need further treatments every session.
That's what she said too, because she wouldn't get rid of the spirits either. She said she would do that after I came back to her a few times.
Yeah, they get you hooked so they can make money off you.
Yeah.
And if you think they're gonna let you go, they might be like the Jehovah's Witnesses and the Mormons or Moonies. If you enter their cult, try to leave them, they'll hound you and pound you until the day you die.
It's just like a psychiatrist.
Unless you have a peace bond or a peace bond or an order from the courts, the court of law, that they're to leave you alone. No anti-harassment, something like that.
It's just like a psychiatrist. There's no money in a cure. They don't cure. Psychiatrist doesn't cure mental illness. He treats it. There's no money in a cure. There's money in treatment. If they can keep you going back, taking their pills over and over again, then you have to keep giving them money. But it's like that with medicine too. There's no money in a cure, there's money in treatment. Just like cancer, they have cures for cancer. You can cure it with herbs, but they don't cure cancer at a hospital. They keep you coming back over and over again.
The thing is, like with regards to mental illness, sometimes it can be treated until you're rid of it. Or sometimes you're stuck with it for the rest of your life.
Well, I'm sure there are some special cases where you just have to keep treating it. Like, I'm sure that even in medicine, there are times when that's appropriate. But in comparison to what this Lily woman did to me, it's kind of like if you keep a man sick and give him medicine to fight off the symptoms but not the disease, then you get him to keep coming back for more, giving you more money all the time. And if you cure him, well, then that's it. He's gone and he's not your patient anymore, and you don't make any more money. See, I'm into spiritual stuff. It's not that I'm not a Christian. I just you know how you get mad at God? Well, I get scared of God. I start thinking, what if God's trying to mess me around, do this and that to me? And I think that's because the devil likes to pose as God. And he comes into my life and screws all kinds of things up.
Because it says that he appeared as an angel of
It's your
light.
age.
What?
It's your age.
My age? Oh.
No, I'd avoid them at all.
My mom told me to avoid them too. And you know what? She may have fucked me around in a lot of ways. But when it comes to stuff about God, I'm not even going to say she's right all the time, but she is pretty smart, especially when it comes to spiritual danger. Every time my mother has warned me of any kind of spiritual danger, she's been right. And she told me I shouldn't even talk to Brian Phelps anymore. And I don't think I should have even gone to this appointment. Because this lady
Where is it at?
It was on 1447 Hickory Road.
Oh my
Hickory
God,
Road,
Hickory
wow.
is not a good neighborhood.
Yeah,
No, it looked pretty run down.
It's almost like living in Hell's Kitchen in New York.
Yeah?
It's that bad. Because one time, a friend of mine, he had to take off his boot to defend himself against this guy with a knife.
Yeah.
And
You know he's taping you, eh?
What?
Yeah, I already told him.
Yeah. And the guy tried to slice him. He cut into his boot and just barely left an incision in his skin. And I don't know what he did, but my friend Dale, he beat the guy. He must have gotten a knife away from him and got a hold of him and started beating the heck out of him with his boot.
Yeah.
So he used his boot and pounded him like over and over and over again until it was like right out of it. And he survived because he took his boots off and used them as
that's what I was told to do by a martial arts student.
Yeah.
So I just wanna put this in this video so that I can really give a message to people that go and do this kind of thing, and I also want to justify it to myself. So can you? I know you got a lot of wisdom up in that head. So I got about 6 minutes left before this won't fit on YouTube. Right. So can you kind of summarize why I shouldn't go with that person?
Okay, because all these activities, astrology, palm reading, psychical, it's all of the devil. Anything to do with the occult is of the devil or demonic, and they're false guides, and they deceive. And their power is in the lie, but they will also sometimes, especially Satan, he'll put a bit of truth in it, but never a whole truth.
Yeah, I remember.
He'll never tell a whole truth, not ever. He can tell you 9/10 of a truth, but that 1/10 that's a lie. That'll disseminate the 9/10 that he said from God's word or something like that. He'll always have that one small percentage that spoils the whole thing.
Yeah, like when he tempted Jesus, he tried to use the Bible against him.
Yeah, and so he told me that that Satan took it out of context.
Ah.
And Jesus caught on to that and said, "You shall not tempt the Lord your God." In other words, why do I have to prove myself to you? I know I'm the Son of God. I don't have to prove myself to you. You don't tempt me. So.
You're right, and it applies to this situation too. Because I know who I am, and I know what I want out of life, and I don't have to prove anything to them. Yeah. I don't have to be like, okay, I'll just do whatever you say so you don't leave me, because that's such a big threat.
Yeah.
And
like, false sense of security.
Yeah, thank you. False sense of security.
Yeah, just to get money out of you. Now, when it comes to psychiatry...
And control my life. Cult.
They got us over a barrel because, really, they treat the symptom... They solve
BlackMail.
They solve the problem of the mental illness acting up, but they never get rid of it. And I think they tried to do it one time, but it backfired. When they took me on stelazine, then all of a sudden I started feeling paranoid, and I realized that caffeine overdose did something to me. And when they treated me with stelazine and controlled the voices, but it gave way to paranoia, and I've always had depression. I was treated as a teenager for depression and suicidal thoughts or feelings, and I struggle with it to this day. You know, it's really hard, and my psychiatrist is the only guy keeping me in the game, because I don't think they could, even if they wanted to, they couldn't cure you of it totally completely. They don't have the means to do it. All they have is medicine to correct the symptom. They can't get rid of the disease.
Yeah, they probably don't have the technology yet.
Unless 50 years from now, they take a skin graft and from your DNA or whatever, find some solution to this mental illness, then they might be able to get rid of it.
But what if it's oppression, not a really a chemical imbalance?
Well, we have no choice but to trust them, because they're the authorities, and it's their word against ours, and they're going to win every time, because they're the ones in a position of authority, and we have to submit to it. We have no choice.
But doesn't the word say not to submit to authority that goes against the will of God?
I don't think that applies to psychiatry, because psychiatry is there to rectify the mental illness that there's no cure for. And if there is a cure for it, they might just apply it to a person. But if they have any other means of curing it, I don't know. They could be asking for all this money just to line their pockets and say they're doing research and just lining their pockets with money. That's possible, but get rid of the disease totally completely, I don't think they can do it. Not yet, anyways.
I don't think a psychiatrist can do it either. I think
they don't have the knowledge. It takes a lot of research, and they're either doing the research or lining their pockets. One or the other.
I don't think it's necessarily possible to get rid of it, because I think it's a demon, and I think they have free will just like we do, and God's not going to completely neuter them entirely in their ability to be there. I think that we have to fight them with kindness.
Well, no, you have to fight them with authority. See, this book, Authority and Prayer, they had a relative, a grandfather, and he had some sort of mental or some kind of cancer, and they took authority over whatever it was that was doing that. He was cured of it, but he died a few years later, but by natural causes. But whatever they were up against was a demonic stronghold in the man's life, and they freed him from it.
So you can actually break that.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you're in agreement with God, if you're cooperating with Him and trying your hardest to get right with Him, He will give you the authority to get them out of your life and out of the lives of those that you care about.
But where do they go after that? What happens?
They go through arid, dry places and seeking rest, and they'll find anybody they can to get into their soul. They don't even want to be in the abyss, because Satan will boss around and say, I want you to do this, I want you to do that, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. They don't want that.
But what if I don't want them to go into somebody else's soul either? I don't want to just pass them on.
Oh no! They will not gain entrance unless somebody's actively involved in their cult.
Oh,
that's the only way you can be possessed. It's
really?
The only way. Ouija boards, that's a sure way of getting possessed.
I think I was halfway possessed once.
Yeah, and
They're looking like that.
No. You mean out to Lil's house?
Yeah.
Check out my sexy bathrobe.
Did you wear it?
No. I went dressed in a leather coat and corduroy pants and a shirt that says, "Don't act stupid, we have world leaders for that," and pointy dress shoes. And she said that I look like a punk and that I needed to change my appearance.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll always try to elevate their self-impression and make it better than yours and make it depend on them.
Depend on them.
Yeah.
That's a strong word.
Yeah, they do that. They get you hooked, then you're dependent upon them, and they get money out of you. Same thing as getting hooked on heroin, LSD, or PCP, or any kind of hallucinogenic drug. If they get you hooked on it, the devil's got you, or he wants you.
So they work for the
meth.
devil.
This meth stuff can just ruin your face, man. Make you look like you got your skin just gouged out of your gouged out, and it just makes you look like ugh. You wouldn't even want to be near a person like that. You'd make they're a leper or something.
Well, yeah. I just gotta finish up my video.
You wanna go upstairs?
Seems more like they're out to control me. than save me from anything.